This is Madden 19.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA.
Here we go.
Hey. On second down, Elliott. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 20 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on it.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
Move.
Hold the look.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
There to stop him was Darius Leonard.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
To throw, it's Bortles. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Jabal Sheard in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
372.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. John Simon, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first.
The Jaguars getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully...
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
11B.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Lucy. Let's go.
Bortles now on first down. And that is incomplete.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play.
Here we go.
Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. Flushed out right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is difficult, isn't it? Plus, you're closing down your space, right? You're shortening the field for your receivers. And their inclination is to go towards the sidelines as fast as the quarterback is as well. Hard for them to throttle down to leave themselves with enough room to stay in bounds and catch the ball.
Here's Bortles to throw. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Bortles. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And it's 3rd down. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Lambeau will put this one through. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter.
Here we go, here we go.
Bortles going to go on 4th down. Under pressure, he's going to go down. Look at this, way back around the 43. John Simon in there to... And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over.
And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
He's going to air one out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll go with a big bank for it. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position.
Circle! We're 90!
One last throw here for Locke. He's going to let it fly. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted.